So let's dive in and welcome today to today's webinar where we're going to show you IT Autopilot. It's in action. It's really exciting. So should we get started, Brad? You want to start us with the first slide?
Let's go for it.
All right. Okay, so for the agenda today, following these warm introductions, Brad's going to go over exactly what Autopilot is and specifically how it can streamline your workflow and your users' workflow. So he's going to go over what makes IT Autopilot unique. And finally, as time allows, we can go over a question or two. Let's go to that next slide in the introductions. So my name is Kim, and I'm an Enterprise Customer Success Manager here at Atera. I'll be working behind the scenes today, primarily focused on answering any of your questions in the Q&A section. And generally, I'm here to help clients get the most value out of Atera. You will be led today by Brad. He's an account executive and one of our Autopilot experts. He spends much of his day fielding questions about Autopilot, so you're in super hands. So let's do some housekeeping. So before we dive in, a few things. So first, you'll be happy to know there will be a recording of this session. I get that question a lot. It's going to be sent to you in the days following the webinar. So please be patient. It will get to you. So if you need to, step out or you want to rewatch something, no worries there. Second, we want to make this as interactive as possible. So while Brad's going through his demo, if you have any questions that come up, you can see we're in the chat right now, but on the right-hand side, there's a Q&A. Click that tab and ask any questions, and I'll try to answer those throughout the session. Please be patient. If I can't get to something, I'll follow up with an email to dive in better detail. And then finally, at the end of this webinar, I'm going to share a short survey. And it's important for us to be able to hear from you and who is interested in learning more. Oh, and one more thing that's not on this slide is that at the end, you can stick around for an opportunity to win a gift card. Okay, so let's kick things off with a poll. I'm going to open up our first poll question. So you can see now there's a poll tab next to chat. If you select that, you can answer the question, which challenge takes up the most of your team's time? Go ahead and start answering those. Sorry, Brad, didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, I'm just throwing some examples out there. Is it password resets, the printer issues kind of thing. But let's get some real good feedback. Answer that poll. If you need any assistance, let us know in the chat, and we're here.
Great. And you know what? I'm going to close that one out now. And I have another poll question that I'll just open up to everyone. And before I do, just a note, I think I'm seeing a lot of votes coming in now, so I'll give it a few more seconds, but I see a lot of handling repetitive and manual tier 1 support tasks is so far the winner. Some people are managing too many different IT tools and chasing SLAs, resolving tickets quickly. Oh man, these are all really good. I hear these a lot, so that's great to see. Thank you for that one. And then one more poll coming up. This one is, how would you describe your current approach to using AI in IT operations? So
Wow,
not
are you
using
using
AI
Kim?
yet.
Besides
Am
for
I?
IT operations, are you using AI today in your
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
day-to-day?
I really do. I use AI a lot. I'm trying, it's like the buzzword, and we're all trying to, I feel like, figure out how to incorporate this into our workflow. It has been a challenge because I have my set workflow to add something new. But I think as I warm up to it and try different tools, for sure. How about you, Brad? Are you using a lot of AI?
Yeah, most definitely. Compiling emails, summarizing my calls that I'm having with customers. I've really even quantified it to how much time it's saving me on a day-to-day. I think it's like somewhere around 2 hours. I wouldn't know how to live without it or
Yep.
work without it for that matter. Giving me efficiency. I think that's really what AI is about. And hopefully you guys who are handling those IT issues on your day-to-day, we can show you on the demo today how that's really going to AI give you efficiency there.
Yeah, it looks like from the results that most people are exploring it but haven't really implemented it yet. I'm actually seeing that as the number one winner here. So that's really good to hear. And I know like we're all kind of there trying to adopt it and add it to that workflow. Okay. So that is our polls, closed those for everyone. And now I'm going to hand it over to Brad, and I'm just going to go off camera. Please, like I said, in that Q&A section, if you have any questions, send them my way, and I'll try to answer them throughout this.
Awesome. Well, Kim, I can't really see you. I don't have my other screen open, but let's start off with just a couple of slides real quick, ladies and gentlemen. But really, first question here is why and what is autonomous IT? And essentially, let's take it a step back, but really we're asking why autonomous IT. Today, we've sent out surveys, we've looked at research, and we're really seeing about 76% of companies are suffering from IT talent shortage, whether it's hiring, it's upskilling, it's training those real tier one technicians that come in and having them do the work. And then sometimes they're having to go. They just don't really fit the bill or they're not wanting to stay. They find something else better. And of that, 19% growth with year on year increasing in incoming tickets as technologies are scaling, as workforces are scaling up. We're seeing 19% growth on incoming tickets from time to time. And annual IT downtime costs is ranging from $3 million to $50 million a year in industry standards. So autonomous IT, I want to just really lay this out for everyone. When it comes to Atera, we have the AI Copilot side and the IT Autopilot. AI Copilot is really acting as a, call it, sidekick technician for the team, giving them efficiency. Call it a suit of armor, really, where it's purpose built for IT champion. They need to exceed in their own capabilities, not having to spend time creating scripts, searching for OIDs, generating a knowledge base article where that can take a couple of seconds with the AI autopilot, where manually having to generate a KB article, standardizing the formatting, putting in the right, call it relevant information, that's time for at the end of the day for your staff. And on the IT autopilot side for end users, essentially it's a 24/7, 365-day support for your end users. No needing now to have to wait for IT or human technician. Really, we're seeing it resolve about 15 to 25% of those typical tier one tasks and assisting in additional, what we have right now is about 30% of those tasks. And we're talking things like resetting printer spoolers, installing whitelisted software, which I'll show you on the demo today, asking what's the Wi-Fi password for your own organization. It's context aware and company smart, so it solves the same it's solving those tickets the same way you guys would. You're constantly teaching it directly, both way of how you guys do things and indirectly. And I'm going to show you that how we're doing it and essentially learning on how you guys deal with tickets. And really the value we're seeing for end users, it's solving issues in a more quickly and efficient way, really resulting in wait time, zero, and resolution time in 15 to 25% of the case to zero. For the IT team, you guys are getting time back in your day-to-day, giving business continuity to your employees. And for the executive organization, you're really solving things in a much cheaper and simpler way for the organization. No longer dedicating human beings to reset a password for the 99th time, and really making sure that you can stick to the more strategic tasks for your organization. Kim, any questions before we move on? I'm going to assume that's a no.
No questions yet, but if anything comes up, please send them in the Q&A section.
Great. So let's head down to a demo, share this tab instead. Are we good to go? Can you see my screen, Kim?
Yep.
Great. So I'm going to show everyone over here what it's like on the Atera end user portal. But I want to just mention that the autopilot can exist in Slack, email, even maybe your own end user portal that you might be using in a different ticketing system. But really, for the purpose of today's call, we're going to show it over here on Atera's end user portal. It's just much easier than me maybe opening Slack or Teams and showing it to you there. So an end user can come in here and they're talking to an AI assistant. And really, this one's called Steve. You can name it whatever you want. There's a couple of organizations that maybe have a technician called Mike. They can call it Mike for that example. But an end user can come in here and they can say, I need to open this PDF and don't have the right software. Hope my spelling's correct, but a couple of things are going to happen now. First, we'll see on the autopilot side is going to create a ticket. That ticket can be created in Atera. Hopefully that's what you're using today. It could be opened in maybe your own ticketing system that you're using with an integration. So ticket 3792, that's opened, and it's going to be you doing a couple of different things. We are seeing that where we differ is that it's not just responding to tickets, it's actually able to resolve. And how it's resolving is via the agent itself. So you can see here live in real time, seeing everything that it's doing. And it's able to run diagnostics on the device. It's able to see what softwares are on this agent or on this device. And it's actually able to see what softwares, as a technician or as an organization, you've approved your end users to install autonomously by themselves via the agent. So it saw, hey, Adobe Acrobat Reader, here you go, install Adobe Acrobat Reader. Instead of now having to wait for a technician to get back to them. That could take what, 2 hours, 30 minutes in some cases. Maybe I'm at home on the weekend and I need access to my device. I've lost my password. Another example where they can go and reset passwords. Or here, installing Adobe Acrobat Reader, so they can go and get into their device or get into the software, Another example I like to give is really you training the model itself, like a lot of other solutions out there, where it's able to pull answers from a knowledge base. So what is the Wi-Fi password? Now it's going, retrieving that article, should from a KB art, from a knowledge base article, retrieving that answer, from a KB article. Yeah, you can see scanning the knowledge base, creating the ticket, and providing that to the end users. Instead of them having to wait, instead of them having to rely on the technician to get back to them. And we're also seeing a really large uptick in end users submitting tickets now with the autopilot. Typically, they might be scared. Typically, they might not want to. They're embarrassed. Here, they can go and ask the AI autopilot to do it for them. So giving them that example. It can also act as like an executive assistant. So how do I use the V lookup formula on Excel? Another great use case where they can go, the autopilot can give them the answer instead of them having to go to Google, etc., and providing that answer for them over here. So that's, call it an end-to-end scenario. Let's just show you what it looks like where it's actually assisting technicians or end users and technicians, you could say. My device is running slowly. Now, I'm sure you are familiar with this example. And a couple of things, again, what it's going to do, open that ticket for you. And it's going to act as a technician, as an extension of your team, where it can go and ask it questions to get the relevant context from your end users. For example, I always like to give is, hey, my monitor is not working. The autopilot's going to say, well, is the device or is the monitor plugged in? Like, these are the things that you are having to answer on your day-to-day, and now you've got the IT autopilot to do that. So here it's asking me, it's slow all the time. Is it just certain applications, etc. I can say it's slow when I open up Chrome. So it's asked those typical questions to get more context. Now it's going to run some diagnostics. As you can see, it's checking CPU usage, consuming processors, application memory usage. You can view it live on what's going on, or the end users can. And it should come with recommended actions that it can take. Could you open Chrome and let me know once it's running? So I could do that, but for the sake of this example, I can say, I want to speak to a human. Now, what it's going to do is going to escalate that to a technician. Now let's go into the Atera side of things, which I hope you're all familiar with. Share this tab instead. So here I'm on Atera. This could be your ticketing system, could be ServiceNow, Zendesk, etc. I can see here device performance issue, VLOOKUP formula assistant, Wi-Fi password request, all those examples I gave earlier. So that when a technician comes in to this, they'll be able to see the history of the back and forth between the end user and the autopilot. And they'll be able to see here the reason for the escalation, the work done by the autopilot, and recommended next steps for the technician to take so that when they come in here, they don't have to start from scratch. It's really taking them to the 50-yard line. And where we say it's context aware and company smart, actionable insights. Really here, it's what the AI is seeing what you are doing in your day-to-day, how you guys are dealing with those tickets, and how you even remoting into devices and what actions you are taking and learning and leveraging that. For example, let's see, connecting a shared printer to your domain. Right now, this AI is seen based on 2 tickets that were solved in a similar way that you marked as a resolution. It's generated an article for you guys. Review that article. The AI even compiles it, standardizes the formatting that you as a technician can go and check, see that it's nice, and create that and add that to the Copilot and the Autopilot to leverage going forward. So that when a similar ticket comes in, maybe tomorrow, a week later, it will be able to leverage this knowledge base articles that the AI made and being able to solve that issue. Another example. Let's go back and let's view the scripts. With our Splashtop, if you are remoting in from time to time and doing the same sort of actions, set the display resolution to specific value. It's seeing here based on one remote session, but just say you were doing it from time to time, maybe installing a language pack because certain employees need Italian. You're going in 8 times, it's seeing right. Here's a script. Because I've seen you guys take the same action during your remote access session, creating the script using AI, our closed model of Azure OpenAI, and being able to generate that script in a couple of seconds where you can leverage that on the Copilot and Autopilot side, or just the Copilot, so that when a ticket comes in saying, hey, I need to install Italian, it will be able to answer them using the script going forward. Great. So I think that's a real quick summary of some of the actions and the hopefully demonstrating the value and what the autopilot can do. Is there any questions? Kim, you there?
I'm here working in the background. No new questions. Donald's having trouble seeing what you're displaying. If anybody else is having any problems, let me know. I'm not sure why Brad's demo isn't displaying for you. Apologies there.
And Donald, no problem. After this, we'll also provide with a link, which you'll be able to go and even book your own personal demo. I'm happy to even give that to you, and we'll also send you the recording.
Brad, I have a question that actually comes up a lot for people, and that is, does Autopilot work with other ticketing systems? Like, do you have to use Atera's ticketing system?
Great question, Kim. And yes, the answer is that Autopilot can be used with other ticketing systems. We've created integrations with ServiceNow, Zendesk. It's easy to do, where they can go in, an email can come in, it can create that ticket within your respective ticketing system. No problem.
Great. And another one is, can you speak a little bit to, when you get Autopilot, what happens? Are you given like knowledge base articles to get started, or does somebody help you walk through configuring everything?
Another great question, Kim. So firstly, yes, we have a professional services team here at Atera. An onboarding team will help you get up and running. We can even retrieve or get maybe your past 90 days of tickets, scan those tickets, and being able to compile the KBs for you that you can inject into Autopilot to leverage solving those typical tickets that you are getting in your day-to-day. And that will be dealt with with professional services. Onboarding will even provide, I think it comes to about 12 hours, but we're seeing, because of the intuitiveness of the solution, the UX UI, 6 hours, you're up and running. Inputting your users from Azure, Okta, Google, etc., which we can also, by the way, restart those passwords on. And really, it's not too much heavy lifting to get Atera up and running, Atera Autopilot up and running.
Amazing. And I'll answer one question actually here. I'll share this question. Are the scripts generated tested? And what if the script has errors in it? I can jump in there. So Copilot, our other AI tools, actually what helps to generate scripts. It's not tested, so I do recommend testing that out. But when Autopilot identifies a script to use, it's going to usually identify one that you've used before, add that to your library. Everything is in your control, and you have the chance to test it before you enable Autopilot to use that automatically. So before anything goes live and is used by Autopilot, it passes through you, so you have that control.
Yeah, Elliot, I think it's really that control part is really the important piece over there. We are really giving you the efficiency to create that script in a couple of seconds. You can test that internally and then use it to leverage going forward. We'll also give you comments on the script so that you can see what's going on. Maybe you created with the autopilot, your colleague wants to take that or use it going forward. He'll be able to understand what's going on that script. And what I mentioned earlier is that it is a closed model. So we're not learning from your data, Atera. We're not training the LLM model with your data also. So maybe you use ChatGPT, that could be using your data. This is a closed model. It's secure, and you'll see the accuracy on it being about 90-95%. It was what typically we're hearing from a lot of our customers.
Great, those are some good points. All right, I think that's everything from the questions. Do you want to pull up the next slide?
Sure.
I think in this slide is a chance to win a gift card by sharing your experience on G2. So we'll leave this up for a second. You can get that QR code to go to the site and get a chance to win a gift card. I know that's always a nice treat.
Yeah, I've got a nice shopping list going on Amazon right now.
Same.
How do you think I can use it? No, I'm joking. Right. Hopefully you've all got your cell phones, you've scanned the QR code. Just reach out if you need that again. Should we do the next slide, Kim?
Let's go for it.
Great.
Okay. And I'm going to launch a survey before we sign off. So that has just been launched. for all the attendees. And this is just a chance to hear from you. If you're interested in learning more and getting a private demo, you can fill out the survey and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. I think that's
This is your
been the
chance,
biggest
Donald.
feedback. Exactly. Donald, if you want your own demo, we'd be more than happy to fill out that survey and then we'll have somebody get back to you or anybody else here who's interested. That's been the biggest feedback from these autopilot webinars is that people really want to have a chance to dive in more, ask personal, like one-to-one questions in like take it a little bit deeper. So that's what this is helpful for.
Yeah, and just remember, guys, we're seeing the autopilot really being able to resolve about 1,000 different actions. Your typical tier one actions that it can take in its day to day. I just showed you a couple of different examples, highlighting the value, but really there's tons more. You can go speak with somebody like myself, Kim, where they'll really build out a demo to your own use case and seeing what it can and can't solve.
All right. Well, I'm going to close out that survey now. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. It's been amazing to hear from Brad. Thank you so much for that walkthrough, Brad. And if you have any other questions, if you need any help, please reach out to us from our website. We're always here. And like I said at the beginning, for anybody who missed this, we'll be sending you a recording of this webinar.
Thank you very much, Kim, for co-hosting. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise.